Welcome back. I'm Ted Thomas. I've been an entrepreneur and an investor in real estate for the past 3 decades. Now, my specialty is tax defaulted real estate, and that's really nothing more than a subset of the traditional real estate, which I'll go ahead and explain here in just a minute. Now, most people think of real estate as homes, vacant buildable lots, small office buildings, small apartments, and in some cases even small farms. Well, I've been involved in tax defaulted real estate, which is just a subset of what I just said. So in this episode, I'm going to answer your questions about how to invest in real estate for passive income. And that's what we're going to talk about. So this is a good area for people to be involved in because you can earn income by working once and then collecting money for 10 years or more. So I'm going to show you numbers that you'll find are easy to understand. And I'll be right back with that. To start with, full disclosure, tax defaulted real estate is not glamorous. These properties are usually used and abused. Some of them are actually junk, and some of them are pretty good. They just clean up and you can move into. But it's not a glamorous business. All right, but the money is very good. Anyone that gets involved in tax defaulted real estate, learns it and does it, is probably going to be able to generate a lot of passive income, and I'll show you how in the next few minutes. So simultaneously, while you're generating this business, you're going to be able to make money for yourself, you're going to be able to help the county out, and you're going to be able to help hundreds of people that have poor FICO scores and haven't done well and the banks have rejected. So let's get started while you're watching this video and learn the step-by-step process. Now, I don't know who you are or where you are, but this business is one where you can buy real estate for 10 and 20 cents on the dollar, and then you can turn right around and resell it for much higher than that. So you're going to buy it low and you're going to sell it at a little price higher than that. So buy it low and sell it high, okay? Now, how are you going to sell it? Well, you're going to use eBay, you're going to use Facebook Marketplace, you're going to use Craigslist, Trulia, you can use Zillow. There's lots of places, including the MLS, to sell these properties. So we're going to buy them low, and then we're going to try to resell them. Who are we going to resell them to? Well, how about fixer-upper guys and gals? They want to do that. How about the property flippers? Another place to sell the property. So we like to buy them low, sell them low, move on, and do the next one. All right, now the county needs the money at the tax defaulted auction. So what we're talking about here is how to invest in real estate and get passive income. So we want to buy them low, and then to help us sell them, why don't we use a contract of sale, which is nothing more than an installment sale. So you'll not only be helping yourself, you'll help your family, you'll help the county, and you're going to be able to help people that are trying to get into property. Unfortunately, they don't have good credit scores, so they need someone to help them out. So I'm going to give you a little background on that, and I think you're going to find that valuable. But across the country, there's over 3,000 counties, 3,000 plus counties, and they all confiscate tax defaulted property. All right. Now, those counties all can sell that property at tax defaulted auction. All right. So people lose these properties for many different reasons. Sometimes they just pass on and there's no heirs to take care of things. Sometimes people just abandon the properties. Then sometimes people have financial problems. But the county isn't worried about that. The county's worried about taking care of county employees. So what do? If the people don't pay the taxes, they're going to confiscate the property, they're going to resell it, and they're going to use that revenue to pay the county employees. So in all 50 states, each county is governed by the legislature, okay? So the legislature then pushes the rules down to the Board of Supervisors and the county commissioners, and they require the treasurer to seize property and confiscate property if the taxes are not paid. Now, the revenue from the tax auction that the county is going to conduct, the revenue is used to pay the county's bills. For example, property tax not only pays for the firefighters, pays for the police department, pays for the schools and the school teachers, county employees, and so on. So they need this money to pay their bills. So the properties that are tax defaulted are going to go to auction. Now, when they go to auction, the county doesn't try to get retail price. They're going to sell that property for very close to the back taxes. So that might be 10 cents, 20 cents, or 30 cents on the dollar. So they're discounting down from the tax assessed value 60, 70, 80%, and they just want to get rid of the property because they want to get the property back on the tax roll. They want to get it off the defaulted list and onto the regular honorable tax roll. All right, so the county will sell the property. The minimum bid is always going to start out at the back taxes. Now, will it sell for back taxes? I don't know. It's a bid. It's an open auction. It's a public auction. Anybody can go there. But the county's discounted it down for as low as just back taxes. And when they sell the property, they're going to sell the property without a mortgage or a deed of trust loan on it. So this takes place at public auctions where anybody can attend, and they have these auctions in all 3,000 plus counties annually every year. Now, some counties are going to sell at auction more than one time a year. Okay, now what kind of properties are they? They're going to be used and abused. Some of them are going to be junk, and some of them are going to be good properties that just need to be cleaned up. But you're going to have to take the time to look at it and know the condition of the property before you buy it. Now, some of them just require minor touch-up and get them ready for sale again. Others are going to take more than that. All right, now you're an entrepreneur? I don't know. A lot of people want to be entrepreneurs. Now, what motivates you to be an entrepreneur? For most people, it's going to be they want to make a lot of money, or they want to be famous, or they want to be recognized. I don't know what's motivating you, but I can tell you these auctions have been going on for 200 years, so there's going to be thousands, over 5,000 of these auctions every year. So you could learn how to do it. You could learn how to purchase for pennies on the dollar, and you can sell for whatever price you want, but you're just buying them in the public market and you're retailing them back out into the general market. Now, you do that by advertising and marketing, and I'll try to get a little bit more of that into this video. All right, now, this is a successful process that always works. So what am I talking about here today? I'm talking about how to invest in real estate and end up with passive income. Well, what we want to do is we want to end up buying properties at tax defaulted auctions. So once you learn how to do it, you're going to try to buy for 10, 20, 30 cents on the dollar. However, it might have a much higher value. So let's say it was a $100,000 property and you could buy it for $25,000. Well, what are you going to sell it for? What if you sold it for, say, $50,000? Well, that would give you a nice profit. And if you wanted to, you could do an installment sale and make money. So this is how you can become the banker and not only do the work once, but you could end up getting paid for 10 years on that same property because you can accept payments for all that time. So how do we do that? We use a contract of sale. So a contract of sale is not something different. All right, it's something that's out there all the time. You're going to sell the property and you're going to accept payments on the property. So you're going to have to get a down payment. Once you get a down payment, then you're going to have monthly payments. You're going to do 5-year, 10-year, 20-year financing, whatever you want to do. This episode is all about how to invest in real estate for passive income. So the student is going to buy a property at auction and they want to resell it. All right, now when they want to resell it, they want to get it into the marketplace where when they sell it, they have enough margin to make a nice profit. So the student buys a property that has a value of $80,000. All right. However, they only pay $8,000 when they purchase it. So they purchase it for 10 cents on the dollar. All right. They understand the concept of buy it low and sell it low. So they're going to advertise it where? Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. All right. Think about the MLS. They could put signs on it. They could use Trulia. They could use Zillow. All right. Now, instead of putting it out at $80,000, they put it out at $50,000, much less than the retail value. All right, so a new buyer comes along and offers a $5,000 down payment and requests installment payments. So what does my student do? The student simply says, great, I'll take your $5,000, I'll give you an installment contract, and the installment contract will be $650 for 10 years. All right, let's do the math, and you can see it in front of you. So $5,000 down, $650 a month. What is that going to turn out to be? At the end of the year, that's $7,800 a year. All right, but it was 10 years. So 10 years at $7,800 a year is $78,000. All right, now add back in the $5,000. Oh my goodness, when you add those two together, you got $83,000 in passive income is going to come in over the next 10 years. You did the work once by buying at the tax defaulted auction. You sell it once, all right, and now you're going to get payments for 10 years' time. How good is that? Well, that's pretty good. So Americans love installment contracts Now, more than likely, who's going to respond to your advertising? Well, if it's that lower price, it's probably going to be someone that had a bad FICO score or was already turned down and rejected by the bank. So you're not going to give them the deed to the property. You're going to give them a contract. All right, and the contract's installment contract. If they don't pay, you can just kick them out. You can just do it to the next one. All right, so the buyer is doing the same thing they would do if they were buying a boat or a camper, or they were going down to Home Depot and buying a refrigerator. It's an installment contract. All right, that's going to give you passive income. All right, now there's two mistakes that people make every time at auctions that I don't want you to make. So I recommend that if you're going to buy a property, you go and look at the property, or you send someone to look at the property. If you haven't seen the property and know its condition, you should not bid on it. What if there was a fire? What if there was a flood? What if it was next to a chicken farm? That's not going to smell too good in July and August. All right, there could be any one of those things could happen to the property, and you don't want to buy a property that's already damaged. So always look at the property or send someone that you feel comfortable with. All right, now the second thing that you have to be really cautious about is when you're at the property looking at it, determine what you're going to be able to sell it for. In other words, figure out your exit strategy before you buy into this deal. Figure out your exit strategy so that you can get out of the property and make a profit. I'm Ted Thomas. I'll see you on the next video.